In this episode, I'm going to touch base on a very important key sector, which is supply chain and logistics. And to discuss this topic, we have a very special guest in our studio. His name is Mr. Shailen Shukla, and who is the Supply Chain Director of Omar Kaseem Alesayi Group. Welcome, Mr. Shukla, to our show, CTW Global Talks, and we are very happy to have you on our show. And before we start our podcast, I think it's very important that we discuss about your journey, who you are, so our audience know your background. So can you share your journey? What made you start to get into the supply chain and logistic industry, and how you perceive this industry now and everything about it?
So just to start my journey from the very beginning, I was born and brought up in the holy city of Ujjain in India, and then I did my higher education from Delhi University, and I was a very passionate marketing guy. I always wanted to be in sales and marketing. So my first job after my MBA was into marketing, and I was the regional marketing head for UP, the entire big state of UP, which is almost as big as Europe.
Right.
And I was very happy with that. And suddenly, one day my MD called me. He said, "There's an emergency. I need your help." I said, "Okay, what is it?" He said, "My supply chain manager has left. Can you fill in the boots because I have no time to look for a replacement?" I said, "Okay, fine, let me take a look." And I was young and I was willing to experiment. And I said, "Okay, let me jump." And I jumped into the supply chain role. And ever since, I've not looked back. I worked in India, large companies like Prism Cement, Grasim Cement, Vedanta in their optical and aluminum plant, and also in Reliance, in very large companies. I was director operations in Brightpoint. It's a US company. And then I got an opportunity to move into UAE. So for the last 15 years or so, I'm in UAE. And for the last 6 months, now my journey has started in Saudi Arabia, in the lovely city of Jeddah, which has beautiful people, lovely place. So that's where I am now.
Thank you for sharing your journey with us, sir. It's very rich and interesting journey. And now let's move towards the conversation of supply chain and logistic, which is the main context of our podcast. And I'm sure our audience who are listening to this podcast, they might have a lot of questions. And as per my understanding, which I think that supply chain and logistic is an industry which is more driven on the customer satisfaction and more on this is the more crucial part of this industry. So how do you maintain that balance that my work is done in this industry? So what are the best practices you use in managing the customer journey basically?
So in supply chain, unfortunately, everyone is focused on cost reduction. Now, luckily, cost reduction is a byproduct of customer delight. To achieve customer delight, you have to be efficient. So you have to focus on, how well you can reach the customer. Now, in supply chain journey, there are very few touch points with your end customer. And we are lucky that if you are managing not just your upstream movement, your warehousing, the only place where you touch base with the customer is the last mile journey. When he orders the goods from your website, or when he orders the goods from your partner website and you finally go to deliver, is the only chance where you can achieve customer delight. And people just ignore that. We as supply chain professionals, I'm sorry to say, are so focused on cost. We just want to reduce cost by any means. Now, unfortunately, cost reduction is a byproduct of efficiency improvement, and you improve your efficiency to achieve customer delight.
True.
Can I reach him faster? Can I reach him at the time of his choice? Can I reduce the order time cycle from the moment the order is punched to the moment the order is delivered? How can I shorten that? You need to be efficient. You don't need to be cheaper necessarily. But as I said, cost reduction is a byproduct of efficiency.
Right.
So when you are trying to be more efficient to achieve customer delight, that is the time when you do it more efficiently, and you do it by optimizing your cost, which happens automatically. So you need to focus on what makes my customer happy.
Right.
Now there was a survey in which customers said that if my last mile delivery is free, I'm happy with it. There was another survey where 99% of the customers said, I want same day delivery or I want next day delivery. Nobody will wait for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days,
Right.
for the goods, because people want instant gratification. If I've ordered something, I want it now. I want it yesterday. So how do you make it happen? So you have to continuously keep on improving your processes, leverage technology. I'll give you an example. When I was in one of my companies and we implemented e-commerce solution, whatever we did, we were not able to go beyond 90-91% next day delivery. And we wanted to move further. We wanted to do same day delivery. Then we implemented a last mile delivery optimization software. And suddenly the software told us, use less vehicles, do more deliveries per vehicles, look at heat maps, look at your routing, look at your analytics, look at your driver performance, who is a better driver, who is delivering more, who is delivering 100% of their orders, which driver is getting the best satisfaction score from the customer. I mean, it opened our eyes. And suddenly from a 90-91% next day delivery, we were at 98-99% within a month or two of launching. So that's the power of technology, how to leverage technology to use, your same set of resources, assets, drivers, vans, bikes to achieve customer delight. So these are small things that you need to do, and you have always to be focused on the customer journey. How can I make the customer journey happier? That will make you achieve the customer delight.
It's very difficult to satisfy a customer when it comes for the delivery process. That it's very well said and very well answered this question, because picking from your statement which you said, maintaining cost, in supply chain management, because there are a lot of back-end cost which is involved in this, and that so you take a certain approach, but you are keeping it a very cost effective. But does it give you any challenge in that? How do you maintain that balance? Because yes, we have to cut the cost, but yes, we have to maintain the customer satisfaction. But how do you maintain that balance when I am cutting the cost? How you make it more cost effective?
So again, as I said, cost reduction is always a byproduct. If you are focused on cost reduction is an end, not a means. So you have to look at efficiency improvements, So if you are in warehousing, leverage technology. In one of my warehouses, we were doing manual inventory management, and we implemented a warehouse management system. Suddenly our inventory accuracy jumped to 99.99%. Our shortages, damages, everything went down because inventory was visible. We were tracking everything. We were tracking inbound, outbound, inventory within the warehouse. We were doing a lot of stock count. So we invested in technology, and as a byproduct, our shortages went down. I mean, I don't want to quote the name of the company, but at one point in time, we used to have shortages of 100,000, 200,000, 500,000 dirham, which is huge. And imagine, by implementing a one-time cost of a warehouse management system, we saved so much. So we improved the efficiency, and the cost saving was a byproduct. It happened automatically. Same in last mile delivery. When we were doing last mile delivery and we implemented this last mile delivery optimization software, we started using less vehicles. We started doing more deliveries. We were reaching our customer faster. We were using routing and planning. Earlier, the route was in driver's head. He was driving as per what he thought was the best route, whereas it was not the best route. And also, my internal customers, my drivers were happy because they were driving less and doing more delivery, making more incentives.
Right.
So it was a win-win situation. And automatically, when I'm using less vehicles, when my drivers are more productive, when they are doing more delivery per day, more delivery per driver, more delivery per vehicle, automatically my costs come down. So I have not focused on cost reduction. I have just improved my efficiency. Cost reduction was a byproduct.
Yes. And I think this is what we want to understand here also. And And you have said it in a very right way, because you are achieving efficiency not because it cut down automatically, right? And you're also talking about the, including technology in supply chain management. And yes, what I have also seen that artificial intelligence is something which is everyone is talking about, and it has taken grip in supply chain and management as well. So yes, you mentioned about, yes, technology is helping the supply chain, but are there any challenges when we have artificial intelligence getting into supply chain program this level?
So honestly, I think as of today,
Yes.
not tomorrow, as of today, supply chain is a fad. Everybody wants to drop this word, blockchains,
Yes.
AI and machine learning, ML.
It's
so
very
AI,
trending,
ML
yeah?
is a buzzword. Everybody
Yes.
wants to use it.
AI.
So honestly, I cannot leverage AI directly, but I'm leveraging AI through my tools which I use.
Okay.
Through the warehouse management system, the WMS deploys AI. So automatically it keeps on moving my fast moving inventory to easier picking locations. So that's the use of AI. But I'm not harnessing it directly. It's been used by my software service provider. Same way I would say that, my last mile delivery software. So when I'm going from place A to place B, the AI tells me that last 30 days you've done the same travel and there's more traffic in the morning. Yeah, so why don't you go there in the evening, and in the morning you do delivery in the reverse direction? Or like, for example, if you're going from, you are based in UAE and you're doing deliveries in Sharjah,
Yes.
and in the morning the traffic is from Sharjah to Dubai.
Right.
So it will say that don't go to the farthest reverse your journey. You first go to Sharjah because the road is easily available, and come back from there in the evening. So both sides will not find traffic. So these are the kind of things. Then if you're delivering to, say, a very large retailer like Carrefour or Lulu, then the AI tells me that, hey, you've been doing all your deliveries between this window and the Carrefour is closed before this and they're closed after that. So it will automatically schedule my delivery during that time period. So that's the use of AI. Plus also it helps me it tells me, okay, this driver is good, this driver can do better, so maybe he needs counseling, he needs help, maybe some kind of reward, some kind of assistance. So these are the kind of analytics which AI throws out, and so many times it alters the delivery route schedule.
Yes.
Based on where you'll find less traffic. So it's not just Google Map which you're using, but behind the routing, scheduling, CO heat maps.
Yes.
Like if I'm doing a milk run, I'll send one vehicle to Abu Dhabi, one to Sharjah, one to Al Ain, but it tells me that no, send 4 vehicles to Marina, send 2 vehicles to JLT, send 2 vehicles to Business Bay, because as per the heat maps, you have more deliveries there.
Right.
So, suddenly you are doing more deliveries with less number of vehicles, and you're delivering faster, So that's how, with the tools, the software tools that you're using, you're leveraging AI. Maybe I'm not aware of a use case where you are using AI directly into your operations.
Okay.
But I think it's still some time away.
I think you said it correctly, that what is the involvement of artificial intelligence in supply chain. There are a lot of benefits, but there are certain challenges also. So do you want to highlight on the certain challenges which AI brings in supply chain and management?
So like Chat GPT or Photo GPT, or you have these AI websites for creating PowerPoint slides, There's no direct application per se for supply chain, but there are a lot of indirect applications. Routing, planning, last mile optimization, demand planning, and forecasting. There are so many softwares which you use, where on the background they use AI as a one of the tools to give you the results of what you want.
Right. So if we move forward from this question, it's more on the artificial intelligence, what data that generates. So in supply chain, I believe the analytics play major role in basically decision making and improving the efficiency of supply chain. So how do you utilize the analytics to make informed decisions and drive efficiency in your operation?
So, analytics,
Yes.
or the absence of analytics, this is one of the weak points of supply chain and logistics. We are sitting on so much of huge data, but there are very few players in the market who really, deploy analytics to leverage that data to, come to a decision as to how to be better, how to be more efficient, how to be more effective, and how I can improve my operations. So analytics plays a very crucial role in supply chain management by giving insights into various things like demand forecasting, inventory optimization, transportation management, supplier performance. There are so many things that you can do, and especially in things like demand forecasting, it's very important. If you are a very large FMCG company and your daily turnover is say, or a monthly turnover is a few thousand billion dollars, a few percentage, wrong forecast can reduce your sale by 100 billion, 200 billion. The effect of demand forecasting is so huge. So, or if your demand forecasting is wrong, you could end up with excess stocks, unsold stocks. So the entire manufacturing, the entire planning, the entire shipping, the entire stocking happens basis demand forecasting. So it's very important that you leverage analytics properly to do the demand forecasting. You analyze historical data, market trends, other relevant factors, and accurately predict the future demand for products. So unless you use analytics, you cannot optimize your inventory management. So I am a supply chain guy. I'm more worried about not about sales, but optimal inventory management.
Right.
So for that, it is very important to use analytics. Second thing is for inventory optimization. You can use analytics to identify slow moving items, so you can stop ordering the slow moving items or at least delay the ordering. Whatever fast moving items are there, you never want to be out of stocks because they are the main contributors to your inventory freshness. They contribute to your sales, they bring you more profits. So you will make sure that your inventory is optimized in a way that you're always never out of stock for these fast moving items. And then non-moving items, it tells you what are non-moving items, how to liquidate them so that your cash is not stuck there. You can get the money out before the product becomes obsolete. Also transportation management, we already discussed.
Yes.
So for routing and planning and where to go, how many trucks. So your data analytics will tell you that you need like for example, Saudi is a very large country. So you cannot just keep sending trucks on a milk run. You need to have a proper planning and basis your historical data, what deliveries are happening, where they're happening, what are the timelines. Do you need to work in one shift, two shift, what time your customers are available,
Right.
So you use analytics for that. Also, there's a very big area where we don't use analytics is supplier performance. So you have 10 suppliers, and in your mind, that, this guy is good, this guy is not so good. But when you use analytics, you can actually come to know that these were the KPIs for suppliers. This was their performance. So this supplier scores 9 out of 10, the other one scores 8 out of 10, and someone else may score 3 or 4 or 5. So that is how you leverage the power of analytics in your supply chain and day-to-day logistics and supply chain operations.
Okay, so we definitely had a very interesting conversation, but we have a very limited time and we cannot discuss everything about supply chain and logistics because it's a very vast topic, and I'm very excited to announce that also that Mr. Shukla will be on our CTW Global 2024 show, which is happening on October 22nd to 23rd, and you can definitely come and visit our show and join his panel to gain more insight about supply chain and logistics. So we will definitely look forward to having you there on our show in the DWTC. But here we have a very limited time. So before we go, do you want to say anything for our audience, which is the key points of supply chain and logistics, they have to keep in mind, because there are a lot of things involved in packing. So what are those key points they have to keep in mind to make their channel, run smoothly and perfectly?
I think you've been asking fantastic questions, and thank you so much for having me here in your podcast. I think as a closing statement, all I can say is that let us move from the 18th century to the 21st century, and let us leverage the power of technology, the power of AI, the power of ML, the power of the TMS, the power of WMS, and also demand planning and analytics to do our jobs better in a more efficient way, in a more cost-effective way, and finally to achieve customer delight.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us to our CTW Global Talks and sharing your great insight with us. And I would also request our audience to spare some time and listen to our podcast. And if you are not following our channel, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our LinkedIn page and Spotify to listen to this podcast. Thank you so much, sir, once again for coming to our show.
Thank you, and thanks for having me. It was great speaking with you, Shweta.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.